So on your boat you may have these. Okay, these are lift the dot, and same kind of thing. When you're going to put the fastener on, you would have marked it so that this valance would be in the middle again. Okay, so you're just going to mark where your dot is. Okay, with my left hand. So that would be going onto there like that. And then you take it back to your workshop. Okay, so you would do all the mark. You're probably going to have to do this on the boat because it's the fixtures and fittings, unless you're really lucky where you can take it back and do it. So you're going to need a book again. Unless you've got the really expensive tool that I told you about, which is about £400 or £500, you're going to end up with something that's like a punch. Okay, this one we used on the turn button, and this one is your lift the dot. So they're different, obviously. That one is a wider one for the turn button. Okay, and this one, that's the backing plate for the lift the dot. And you can see it's narrower at the bottom than it is at the top to allow for that. If in doubt, just put the backing plate on and it will tell you straight away. Okay, so we're going to use this one. Okay, so on the lift the dot, literally it does what it says on the tin. There's a dot, and that's where you're going to lift the cover to take it off. If you put this on upside down on your cover, so you ended up putting it here, okay, you wouldn't be able to lift it off this way. It locks. Okay, you'd have to lift it from the top here, and that's not practical, obviously. The same goes with sideways. If you do it sideways, I've seen all sorts. Okay, but you need to have it where it goes towards the bottom, or where you're going to pull the cover off from, because that's going to lift it. You're lifting that dot to get it off. Okay, so we've got our mark on there. You can see that. Okay, and we're going to make a hole for our fastener. So the hole goes on top of that white dot. Okay, and then we're going to just hammer it. Put your holes in it, and remember that you're doing this on someone's boat. It won't be long before you get the tool that's easier to use, because these are a nightmare, but you have to have what you can afford at the time. And then you just put the backing plate on and do it up. Push that on, like you do with the other one. If you can't get that on, use a pair of pliers, and then you can use a bit of material wrapped around there. A couple of ways to do it. Sometimes these are a bit stiff, depending on which ones you buy. Okay, so that is on, nice and sturdy, and then we'll just go and put it onto the boat to show you what it's like. Okay, backing plates on, they're all pushed in. Okay, so you've done your fastener.
Hello, yes it is.
And then you just push that onto there like that. Click it on like that, and then it won't come off any way. I can lift all that off any side. The only time it's going to come off is if I lift this dot. Okay, and that's it.